Which is my favourite language that I've learned over the years? Well, I think those who have been here for a while might think that's obvious, and they'd be right. Seriously, there are enough clues. My favourite language is Italian. That might seem strange if you think about it logically, though, because the first languages I learned when I was still in the education system were French and Spanish. Why wouldn't one of them be my favourite? Well, I did stop doing anything in them for decades, so that might give you a clue. But back then I would have said Spanish. Now it's in the bottom half. And that's partly because I used it so much at work, and not all the memories of that work are good. Associations do matter. So why Italian? Italian was the language that got me back into enjoying languages. It was close enough to the others that I had a very big start, even after all the dormant years. And it sounded so much nicer. It has a sing-song quality to it, which I don't find with Spanish, and is greater than with French, at least to my ears. French, though, probably comes second now. I like it a lot more than I did when I was young. I guess I feel a lot more comfortable with it now, and I think that's because of the way I've been using it, mainly with reading. I've mentioned before how I think my Foreign Languages for Business course restricted my language knowledge, suppressed the conversational type language. Not necessarily deliberately, but if you're having business terms thrust upon you the whole time, that's what you concentrate on. Now I can engage in whatever kind of vocabulary I want to, and I do. So French comes second. Now let's go to the bottom of the list. I think Welsh comes up last, I'm afraid. It's difficult to learn, and there aren't enough easily accessible and inexpensive materials to help you learn on your own. It's not the language's fault, exactly, but it's just too difficult for me to continue at this time. In the same vein, I have to put European Portuguese next to the bottom at present. Most apps only teach Brazilian Portuguese, and a country of only, I think it's between 10 and 11 million right now, doesn't have as much literature and as many resources as bigger countries, so it's much more difficult to access easily. Also, the Kindle books are mostly really expensive. Third from last comes Spanish, the last of the languages that I know better. I'm still happy to read in Spanish and listen to podcasts or other things, but it's not my favourite. It screws up my Italian quite a bit, which is a pain, and that also colours my feelings about it. But there's one language left that goes in between the top and the bottom three. Yes, that secret one I mentioned last week. The one language I started learning on my Foreign Languages for Business course that I didn't get very far with. German. Now, don't get me wrong, German is not an easy language for an English person. I'll be talking more about that soon. But it is very accessible in all mediums, and it's not that difficult to understand, seeing as English is jointly based on the Germanic and French languages. I think I like it better than some of the others at present, because it's more challenging whilst also being familiar. Of course, favourite lists are just a moment in time, and in 6 months my feelings might be different, particularly with the latter part of the list. But as we start this new year, this is how I'm feeling. Do you have a favourite language? Is it the same as mine?